Hi and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to do a collective unboxing video. This is probably just going to be part one since I think there's going to be too much footage to fit all of it into one video. So you'll see my nails change probably between this video and the next one that I upload. But I just wanted to do a little bit of a summer unboxing haul, recent releases from Olive Young, or just things that I've had on my radar that I've wanted to try for a little while. This first unboxing is mostly things that I opened before I took a break from YouTube, so I've had a chance to try most of these things, so I'll share my thoughts as I go along. There might be a couple things here and there that I just haven't gotten to yet, but for the most part, I've tried these things already. This is a cushion from a brand called I can't read the Hangul because I'm moving it around too much. I think the brand is called Ariel, and this is just a cushion that I thought I might like since it seems like it has a similar concept to the Hints Second Skin matte cushion that I like so much. But unfortunately I did try this one and I had to take it off right away. It is super scented. It has that classic sort of K-beauty scent that I always associate with scented cushions, and sure enough, when I opened this up, I smelled it right away, and so I figured this one was probably not going to work for me, and unfortunately I was right. I always try to read the Olive Young reviews whenever I can before I buy something, just to see if anyone has said that this product is scented or not, but this one didn't have a lot of reviews and I wanted to give it a chance, so it's kind of a bummer that it didn't end up working out for me, especially because this packaging is really cute. It reminds me of that one line character, Friends, the one that's shaped like a peach. Yeah, it reminds me of him. This is a pretty basic formula. I wouldn't say that when I put this on, I was like super wowed by it or anything. And like I said, it has that same smell as so many other K-beauty cushions. I have this little conspiracy theory that a lot of brands are actually using the same formulas just in different packaging. And I feel like I've smelled so many cushions that are exactly like this one and tried so many formulas that seem so similar that I'm not even sure it's a conspiracy theory anymore. But if you're a cushion maniac like me and you've tried a lot, let me know down in the comments. Do you think this is true? I thought that this cushion had a good color match for me, and I really wish that I could give you a better review in terms of the formula and the lasting power, especially since this cushion claims to be matte, which tends to work better for me in the summer. But like I said, the minute I put it on, I got that itchy feeling because I have super sensitive skin that reacts the second I put on something I'm allergic to. And so I had to just take this one off right away, and I couldn't even wear it outside to do like a short sweat test. Like I said, when I was perusing Olive Young, this one didn't have a lot of reviews, so I wanted to try it out. That was kind of the goal of this haul, was to take a look at some products that are maybe underrated in the US or outside of Korea, or maybe just haven't been reviewed that much in general. So that's kind of the running theme. Yeah, you can see that this looks like it's pretty on the back of the hand, and it was pretty for like the 10 seconds that it was on my face, but I just don't think that that's really a fair review. And it's really a bummer that so many companies put scents in their cushions because I can't wear them. So this brand that I bought a couple products from, called Glint, is one that I think is really taking off in Korea but isn't talked about as much in the West, or at least I haven't seen that many reviews for it. So I thought I would buy some products just to give my thoughts on them. The first product that I got is this primer. It's one of those tone-up primers that I think is very exclusive to K-beauty, but it's supposed to be one of those skin lightening bases that kind of acts like a little bit of a tint on its own. This is actually one that I haven't gotten to try on my face yet since I didn't bring it with me while I was on vacation, so I can't give this one a thorough review, but I do have to say a little bit goes a long way. I'm actually kind of scared to try this because it's really giving sunscreen white cast, even just on my hand. Like, that turned my hand from already pretty pale to ghostly white. I'm also afraid that this would flash back super bad in any sort of photos, So I'm a little nervous to try this for the first time. I'll definitely have to try it on a day where I'm not planning to be out with friends or taking any pictures so that I don't look like Casper the Friendly Ghost. It might be good to match my neck to my face, since my neck is a little bit tanner than my face is because I use retinol on my face. But I'm a little nervous to try this, especially if it runs when you sweat, because that does happen with tone-up products sometimes and it looks crazy. But if this turns out to be good, I'll update you guys. As you can see, compared to my right hand, that tone-up effect is serious. So that tone-up cream was a little bit of an out-of-the-box buy, but this Idol Beam Maker set from Olive Young is, I think, one of their more classic items. It includes a shiny blush, or like a shimmery blush, and a highlight. And I do have to say, both of them are very strong, so use with a light hand. It comes with 06 Ballerina Pink and 04 Milky Moon. 06 is the blush and 04 is the highlight, obviously. Now these two I actually have had time to try, and like I said, they're really strong, but if you know how to use them correctly, they're also really pretty. You know that classic shiny Jangwonyeon cheek that just really popped off in the spring this year? I think these are the types of products that you would use to achieve that look. The pink especially turns out to be this really pretty highlight blush blend that makes it so that you can just slap it on your cheek and not have to worry about blending in multiple products. But this highlight also has a really pretty pink reflect that I think blends in super well with the blush and other blushes. I personally am a big fan of highlights like this one that look white but actually have more of a transparent base, because it allows the blush underneath to come through and makes it a little bit less obvious. You're much less likely to end up with that metallic stripe on your face, and especially since I like to highlight the center portion of my cheeks, I think that that's a really pretty look. It gives it more of a youthful glow effect rather than a I have a stripe of highlight on my cheek look. And I would say that these two build really well. Like I said, light hand, fluffy brush, but other than that, you should be good to go. And of course, these colors, since they did come in a set, are perfect together. I've never used both of these and come out with a face of makeup that I didn't like. Here I've actually built them up and double layered them for the camera, and you can see that they actually both have quite a soft light under base so that the pigment is not too strong, and it gives your face some volume rather than too much shine or too much metallic pigment, if that makes sense. And I also bought this special edition set. I'm not sure if this was a limited set for spring, since the name is Shining Rose or something like that. I'm gonna assume that's the translation. But the blush itself is actually called Pale Lilac, so that's a little bit interesting. But I have really found myself enjoying these sorts of purpley tones, especially on my fair olive skin, so I thought that this one would be a nice one to grab. I think you can tell from the packaging of this, but it has this sort of watery texture on the plastic packaging, as in like the outer packaging has this sort of textured effect that I think is really fun, although it does make it a little bit difficult to store in my drawer since they don't quite stack properly. But that being said, this color is super unique and really pretty. It does have a slightly purple base to it, but on me it just looks a bit more brightening than anything. It kind of takes out the sort of yellow sallowness that I can get, especially if I haven't had enough sleep, and just gives me a nice glow. And of course, this brush I love. It's the same shape as another brush from Lily by Red that I have and am obsessed with, so this one has gotten a lot of use in my rotation. And I'm also going to give you one last look at the swatch of that blush, because I think it really highlights how pretty the color is and brightening without being bubblegum pink. Next we have a couple products from a brand called Heart%, which, if I'm not wrong, is an influencer brand from Korea, but it's also pretty popular there and I don't see it talked about a lot in the US, which is, like I said, kind of the running theme of this video. They mainly have lip and cheek products out right now, so that's what I hauled. This first product is a lip liner and lip stain duo in the shade Muted Chic. These types of purpley cool tone products are really popular in Korea right now, or at least they were when I was filming this. I think the trends have changed already, which is crazy to say, but you can see that this includes a matte lip pencil that you can use as a sort of lip liner, and then a glossy shade for the center. The lip pencil is in a twist-up format, which I always appreciate because I hate having to bring a sharpener anywhere, but it's also very wide. It's kind of got a blunt tip, so I wouldn't really use this to line my lips. It doesn't seem like it would be super precise. It's also a really nice faded sort of color, which I actually like. I find that it doesn't look super insanely lined, even on my lip color. I have quite pink lips, so this sort of brownish purple can be a bit contrasty on me, but it smudges out super nicely, and I think the effect is really pretty even on its own. And then I tried to show how you could smudge out the lip line and then put the gloss or stain in the center. I don't know how well I did with that. My drawing skills are definitely not the best, but this is one of those sheer tints that I've been really enjoying lately. It's a bit more purple/red than it's coming across on camera right now. It's coming across quite brown, or at least it is on my screen, but this one is much more of a sort of deeper berry color, at least on my lips. Now this is by far my favorite product from the entire haul. I have the shade 04 Soft Pink in the Dote On Mood Custom Lip and Cheek. This is a little duo that comes with one matte color and one glossy color. I brought it on vacation with me, and it was pretty much the only thing that I was using on my lips and cheeks for the entire trip, which says a lot because I brought several products with me, but this stayed in my bag the whole time I was there, and I used the heck out of it. I was somewhere with a really dry climate, so I definitely used the glossy side the most because I was pretty much just constantly applying it as a balm, but it's this really pretty super sheer gloss. I wouldn't even really call this a gloss, it feels more like a balm. And the matte side has a very similar texture to the Fui pudding pots. If you've ever tried one of those, I feel like everyone and their mother has tried one of those at this point. But again, this one's very sheer, which is nice because I feel like sometimes with the pudding pots I get too much in one go and then I can't take it off. But with this, I feel like it's pretty difficult to mess up. I can stick my finger in there and get a pretty good amount and still not have it be overly pigmented. And you can see there the slight difference. The top is a little more shiny while the bottom is a soft matte, but I don't find that there's a huge difference between the two on the mouth. It's more about how it feels rather than how it looks. For the cheeks, definitely the matte. And I have to say, as much as I love fun packaging, this compact little duo is so convenient to take with you. And here are the two actual lip tints I bought. These are the Dote On Mood one-way glowy tints. I have 11 Dawn Mauve and 13 Pink Fairy. And I know we were just talking about simplistic packaging, but actually the packaging is what really got me on these. It comes with these two little detachable rubber rings. It sounds weirder than it is, but you'll see it. And they're really fun to fiddle with or customize and switch around depending on what you want your product to look like. Here's mine, and I like how it looks like a little artistic swirl, but you can do them in whatever order that you want. Or you can just take them off entirely if you prefer to just carry the tube on its own. See? Super cute. They look like little modern art sculptures to me, and I really like having these on my desk. Here's Dawn Mauve, and again, it's that super sheer buildable tint. And I'm honestly never against a less pigmented, more customizable color because I find that I can make it the color I want rather than just having it be super pigmented straight out of the tube. And the same is true for Pink Fairy, or Fairy Pink, whatever the name was. But this one is actually a little brighter. It does come across a little bit more pink on the lips since I do have naturally pinker lips, but I still find this color to be very wearable, and I'm really glad that these were my picks. And that gloss actually sticks around for a surprisingly long time. Like the product itself, the stain is relatively sheer, but again, I prefer that. It allows me to reapply without getting crazy super bright pigmented lips by the end of the day. And then these are products from a brand called Laka. These, I'm pretty sure I saw these in Korea the last time that I was there, but they hadn't been added to the Olive Young International website yet. So even though I could have got them in Korea, I decided to wait until they were available for you guys. This is the Love Silk Blush for the first product, and I have the shade 705 Angel. I picked this shade because I saw something similar on Ray from IVE. I don't know if it was exactly this color, but the swatch really reminded me of the blush she was wearing, and so this is the color that I got. I don't know if you can tell from the camera, but this does have a very slight sheen to it. And I like the white base because, again, it has a little bit of a plumping effect on my cheeks. And I'm really glad that I got this color because it does look a lot like the one that I saw Ray wearing on Instagram, and I love it. This is a relatively inexpensive brand, so I'm surprised that it took them this long to get it on the website. I'm honestly kind of regretting not buying this sooner. And here I have the Fruity Glam Tint Mini. I love that they make mini versions of their products. I have 124 Maro, and this product is so cute and tiny. It's literally the size of my pinky. I'm kind of afraid that I'm gonna lose it in my bag one of these days, but thankfully it hasn't happened yet. I'm not sure entirely what the difference is between all of Laka's lip formulas, but this one seems to be a little bit more on the pigmented side, and I wouldn't say that the actual gloss of it lasts that long. It seems to dry down relatively quickly. This color is super pretty though. It's a little bit more of a brownie nude, but it has just enough red that it doesn't look like I'm dead. It's a little more on the warm tone side for me, but I really like it, and I'm super glad that I got this in a mini since I don't think I'll use up an entire full size. Again, not a super serious stain on this one, but just enough to stay present after the actual tint goes away. And then I have 2 full sizes of the Popping Balloon tint in the bright pink boxes. I have 508 Bouncy and 510 Breezy. Again, I'm not quite sure what the difference is between the formulas. It seems like the mini of the Fruity Glam tint has a little bit of a stronger pigment to it, while this one is a little bit more sheer with a slightly matter dry down, but I'm not entirely sure and I can't be bothered to look it up. I'm a huge fan of this shiny, soft pink packaging that differentiates it from the Fruity Glam tints, and I know it's such a minor thing, but it really is pretty. This is 510 Breezy. This is the sort of pinkish purple one. You can see that I have quite the pattern with shades that I'm into recently, but this one's, like the packaging, pretty muted. I wouldn't say that this is too bright of a pinkish purple, but I do find that this color is very flattering on me. I think if it was any more purple, I would start to look dead, but I think that this is just the right hint of berry. It's just bright enough without being a statement lip. On the other hand, this is more of a classic sort of peachy pink. I think I probably have a million tints in this color, but I wear the heck out of them and I use them up. They're always in my empties, so why not buy another one? And these smell really good. It's not like a super overwhelming scent if you're someone who can't really handle scented makeup, but I think for a lip product, it's like a nice sweet flavor that lasts for a little bit but isn't super overwhelming. You can see that this one really doesn't have a lot of gloss to it. It's pretty neutral as far as the matte to shiny scale goes, and I think that's a really nice, unique finish. And again, that's a pretty decent stain as far as lip stains go these days. So that's it for my collective summer haul, at least part 1. I definitely have more coming, and that Sanrio sale, guys, keep your notifications for the Olive Young app off because that Sanrio sale made me spend way too much money, so you'll definitely be seeing that coming soon. But yeah, this was the collective haul from kind of the beginning of summer. I'm gonna call it my collective summer haul just for naming's sake, but these are the products that I tried and loved over my vacation. I'm really glad to have had these, and if I haven't tried a product yet, I'll get back to you on the update as soon as I've given it a go. Thanks for hanging out with me, and come back soon. Bye guys!